Okay, let us start from where we left. Next is loops. So loops basically allow us to repeat the instructions efficiently. Okay, loops are the most basic and powerful concepts of programming. It is used somewhere we want to repeatedly get the work done. Okay, we will use loops. We will give it some condition. Until that condition is met, it will keep on doing the task it is allotted. Okay, so we can say a loop in a computer program is an instruction that repeats until a specified condition is reached. Okay, so in loop structure, loop first asks a question. If the answer requires any action, then it is executed. Okay, if we want to get same lines of code many times in a program, we can use loops to save time. Okay, so there are different types of loops. First is while loop, that allows us to repeat instructions efficiently. A while loop continues as long as the condition remains true. So we must ensure that condition eventually becomes false. Otherwise, we may create an infinite loop. Okay. A for loop is commonly used to traverse a sequence such as a list, a string, or a range of numbers. So Python's for loop is designed around iteration, making it concise and readable. Okay. So before we do loops and their demonstration, let us see how we use if-else or a nested if. We can place one conditional statement inside another. Okay, let us examine an example from the Google Colab. So if I use of if statements, okay, because it is written followed by hash, so it is a comment, you know that. Okay, maybe I have a variable marks is equal to say 72. I write if marks maybe greater than equal to 80, then we use colon, whatever we want to get it done in this if basket. There are no braces or something, simply a colon. It will automatically get intended by a tab. Okay, then grade is equal to maybe say A. So the indentation is already there. We don't have to explicitly do it, but make sure that it is there. Okay, now I want to print it, this grade, okay, in the if. Okay, now this if is, the statements in the if are enough. Now I want to write else if. For that we write elif. Okay, elif marks maybe say greater than equal to 60 colon. Now in elif what I want to write, maybe grade B, print grade. Okay, then last one is else, grade C. Okay, print grade. That is what I want to do. So this is basically a conditional statement using if, elif and else. Okay, let us try to run it. Because marks are 72, it has printed grade is equal to B. Okay, now let us try to do a nested condition. What I'm trying to do is nested condition. For example, say x is equal to 0, a is equal to maybe 5, b is equal to again maybe 5. So let us see if a greater than 0 colons. What I'm trying to make sense here is the syntax. It is really easy to read, easy to understand, easy to write. Okay, so if b is greater than 0, we can write a and b are positive. Else maybe we can write a is positive, b is negative, else a and b are negative. Okay, so negative 5. If I run it, it will say a is positive and b. So this you can see there is if else and there is one more if else within this if. We call it nested condition. Okay, I hope you understand that. Now let us try to write one while loop. The loops that we have discussed, maybe while loop. Okay, so we start with initialization. Maybe let us write count equal to say 1. Okay, now while the condition is true, we will write while count, the condition while count maybe say less than equal to 5. Okay, then in colon, whatever you can see that the tab automatically pressed here. Okay, now you print, let me print this, count is, then comma separated by my variable name, which will give the value. Now every time this is being run, let me increase count by 1. For that we can write count plus equal to 1. Okay, let us try to run it. It is saying count is 1, count is 2, and here the condition is stopped, hence it stopped. अगर मैंने यहाँ पे less than equal to 5 नहीं लिखा होता, had I not written it less than equal to 5, the condition would never have become false and it would have ended up in a infinite loop. Okay, now let us try to understand syntax of for loop in two different ways. Okay, so for I in, okay, there is a function called as range which generally creates a range of numbers. I have written 1 to 6. That means it will create numbers from 1 to 5. 6 is not included. Okay, colon print count is I. Because why I? Because here I is my variable that is being assigned a value in this list, in this range. Okay, so if I print I here, it will give me values 1 to 5. Another way of writing it is, for example, for anything, for you can write for number or for count, for any variable name. In range, instead of writing range, let me provide it with the list. Maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I will come to what lists are, but for the time being, just understand, it will take all values. It will iterate through all values. Okay. And let me print count is, instead of I, my variable here is number. So I have written number here. Okay. So let me try to run it. So it will give me this way. Now another way of writing is nested loops. What nested loops are? Okay. So there are loop in loop are called nested loop. For example, for row, my variable name is row in range say 1 to 4. Okay. And again, I am starting another for column in range say 1 to 4, print row column. Okay. So let us try to run it. So it has written first row, in first row, okay, there is column 1, 2, 3. Then in second row, column 1, 2, 3, third row, column 1, 2, 3. I hope you understand whatever we have covered so far. Okay. So this is what we have done, for loop and nested loops. Okay. If else statements we have done, okay, where we just checked if some condition is true, then it will follow the if code. If condition is false, if it will follow the statements written under the else code. Like if A less than B, it will follow these statements. It will first match it with this condition. Otherwise, it will skip it and directly go here and print this. Okay. And if we have covered, like we can have multiple statements. If condition, if it is true, it will simply go here and in the last. If this is not true, it will check the next condition. Again, if it is true, it will print this. Otherwise, it will check the next condition and it will keep doing it until it reaches the last. Next important one is list. Okay. So list is basically a data structure which stores multiple items in one variable only. Okay. So lists are written in square brackets. They are ordered. They are changeable and they also allow duplicate values. Very important thing is we can access them element by element by giving their index, and we can also add new elements with methods such as, there are different methods. We can, for example, use append method and modify the existing elements. Okay, so let us try to see what lists are. So okay, here I used a list. This something in square bracket is a list. Okay, let us do it explicitly for list. For example, list, in my list I am making a variable fruit. Okay, let me give, I can give anything in the list. It could be integers, it could be strings, it could be any data structure that can come in a list. We will see how we can add multiple data structures. We will see that. Okay, maybe I have written fruits is equal to apple, banana, cherry, and I want to print fruit at index number 0, at last -1, and all of them. Okay, let us see. It gives me like that. Okay. Next important data structure is tuples. Before that, let us see one more program. So in this list is my list. I have added 3 different type of data structure. One, this is a string hello, float 3.4, and I am printing my list. It will give me everything in this square bracket. Okay. We can also delete list elements, one or more items from a list using delete statement del, and we can even delete the entire list. Okay. For that, what we'll have to do is, this is my list, for example, my list PROBLEM problem. It contains all the letters. I want to use this del, I will write this del keyword, delete, and I will give what letter I want to remove. For that, I will simply use that indexing. Everything, anything at index number 2. Okay, what is at index number 2? 0, 1, 2, O. So it will simply remove O and give me everything else. PRBLEM, it is here. Okay, if I want to delete a complete slice from index A to index B, I can give that slicing window as well to complete. I can access any element of the list by simply giving its index number. Index number 0 P, index number 2 is O, index number 4 is E. It is written here. Okay, I can get to know the length of my list, like how many elements it has. For that, I will use the function length, and I will give the name of my list, variable name. So here it is underscore my list. Okay, so it will give 5 because there are 5 elements in it. We can also use negative indexing to access any element from last. Okay, there are several methods that are used for lists, like append. So append method basically adds an element to the end of the list. Extend, it adds all element of a list to another list. Okay. Insert, it will insert a particular item at the defined index that you will be giving. Remove is used to remove any item from the list. Pop is very important function which returns and also removes an element at the given index. Okay. Clear removes all the elements from the list. So it will be an empty list. Index gives the index of the first matched item. So for example, you are searching for some item, you want to know at which index, at which place it is there in the list. For that, you can use index function. Okay. Then count, it will give you the number of items which are passed as the argument. Okay. Sort basically sorts the elements in the list in ascending order, and if you want to sort it in descending order, you will explicitly have to give the word descend. Reverse uses the reverses the order of items in the list. Copy, it basically creates a copy of the list. Okay. Now slicing in the list, as we have just seen, you can take any character from 2 to 4, you can take 3 till end, and for column, it says from first to start every element. Okay. So there is an example method, for example, append method. In this list, I want to add in the last A. So I will simply write, this is my list. Okay, my list. Use the function append, dot append. For using the function, you will write dot append, and whatever you want to append, write it here, and it will give you this list. Okay. I told you another function called index. It will tell you at which place a particular item is. So for example, you want to know where 8 is there. in this list. So for that, I will use my list, my underscore list dot index 8. So 8 it has at which position? 1, 0, 1. So it is first position. So it will give you first occurrence of 8. Okay. So if you want to count how many times 8 is there in the list, so for that you will use the function count dot count and 8. So how many times it is there? 1, 2, 3. So answer would be 3. Imagine you have to do it in C or C++. You have to count every occurrence of it. You will give it in a for loop, and you will do a linear search, and you will use an increment operator every time. So how easy it gets in Python. Okay. Another function that I just discussed is reverse, where you can simply write my list dot reverse, and it will give you each element in the reverse order. Okay. Then next is the insert operation, where you can insert whatever you want in it. Okay. So 312, that means you want to insert 12 at position number 3. So position number 0, position number 1, 2, 3. Here it will insert this 12, and rest everything would be same. Now let us talk about tuples. Tuple is also used to store multiple items in a single variable, just like list, but there are a couple of differences. Tuple is written using parentheses, not these square brackets. Okay. And they are ordered. Whatever order is fixed in a tuple, it cannot be changed after creation. So they are very useful for representing fixed collection of values. Okay. For example, if I have to write tuple here, okay, maybe my coordinate is equal to, in my tuple, say 10, 20. Okay. And if I want to print coordinate 0, coordinate 1, it will give me. But if I try to change coordinate number 0, let me try to change it to 99, for example, it will throw an error. Let us see. Okay, first thing, coordinate 0, it gave me 10, coordinate 1, it gave me 20, but here it is saying, because it is a tuple, you cannot change it. Tuples are immutable. Okay. So see here, let us see, we have created another variable var in this tuple. Because it is in parentheses, it is a tuple, we have written geeks for geeks and print it. It will give me. If you want to concatenate two tuples, you can simply use a plus symbol between two tuples and it will be concatenated. If you want to access any value, any index of a tuple, you can use that indexing and you can do that. Okay. You can also use similarly negative index for it. What you can do is you can convert a list into a tuple as well. For example, this is my list because it is in square brackets. Let me convert this list into a tuple, but for that you will write tuple tuple, and in this you will pass whatever you want to convert. Okay. Now this 0, 1, 2 is in parentheses, which is a tuple. Okay. If you want to convert a string into tuple, for example this, it will give you a tuple of this particular string. So it will be L, I, S, T. Okay. You can also do slicing and indexing just like we did for lists. This is doable. Next is sets. Okay. Set is also a collection of elements, different elements, but it is collection of unique elements. Okay. If we provide any duplicate values, the set will keep only one copy of each value. So sets are useful for membership testing, for removing duplicates. We can also use length function to find the number of unique elements in the set. Okay. So how to create a set? For set, we use curly brackets. Okay. And if you want to convert any list into a set, just give it in set function and it will convert it into a list. Okay. So let us see how set works. Okay. So for example, my set name is numbers, and because I'm using curly brackets, it is set. Let me write a couple of duplicates here. Okay. And then let me try to print this set, which is named as number. Also, let me try to print the length of it. Print, maybe say its length. Then len is the function where you will give the variable, which is your numbers, name of your set. And we can also find out whether any element is present in the set or not. For example, let us see, is 3 present? Maybe. Okay. Then we will see 3 in, we will simply check 3 in the in operator that we discussed in this numbers. If it is true, it will give yes, otherwise false. Let us try to run it. So numbers are 1, 2, 3, 4. It didn't store any duplicates. Length is 4 because it stored only 4 variables. Is 3 present? Answer is true because 3 is present here. Okay. Now, set has different kind of operations that you can perform on, which are union of sets, intersection, difference, finding the length and accessing the elements, adding or updating elements of a set, removing and deleting elements of a set. Okay, so let us see how you can find length of a set. For that, in set also you can use different kind of variables. You can use different kind of elements. So one is here integer, s is your string, 7.8 is float. And for getting how many elements are there, you will simply use that length operator, length my set. It will give you answer as 3. Okay. Now, if you want to add elements to a set, elements can be added to a set using 2 functions. One is add function, another is update function. So what is the difference between these functions? So add functions allow you to add a single element to your set, and update is used when you want to add more than one element to your set. For example, if in the set, so you add one element 3, it will give you. If you want to add multiple elements, you will use the function update. Okay. If you want to remove some elements from the set, you can use 3 different functions. One is remove, another is discard, third one is pop. Okay. Remove function removes an element from the set specified as a parameter. Okay. What discard does is, it is used when you want to remove an element when you are not sure if it is actually present or not present. So it will first find, if present, it will discard it, otherwise it will not throw an error at least. Okay. Pop is used when you want to remove a random element from the set. So let me print A, B, C. These are 3 sets here. Okay. If I want to remove 2.4 from A, this element, I will simply write A dot remove and it will give me all other elements except from 2.4. If I try to remove 6 from here, but 6 is not here in this set, so it will throw an error. Instead, what should I have used here? Discard function. Okay. So if I discard 3, which is present here, it is fine. If I discard 90, which is not present yet, it will not throw me an error. It will simply stay there. If I want to pop from it, it will get me the first element at the first index. Okay. Now, talking about another operations that are possible with the sets, one is union. Union is basically concatenation of 2 or more sets into a single set. Okay. So, A is a set, B is a set. Okay. We can simply write A and B. It will give me a union. Okay. We can also use the union function, which is A dot union of B. Let us see. So here we have A, we have B, we have C. If I write A, B, then it will give me union. So 1, 2, 4, 87, 9 and ABC, all these are present here. I can also write it as union B, it will give me the same value. Okay, I can do it for more than one sets like A union B union C, or A dot union of B comma C. This can also be done. Okay. Next symbol is another operator, which is intersection. For that, we can use either ampersand or you can use intersection function. Okay, it will give you the common elements of these two sets. Okay, so in these two sets, if you write A ampersand C, it will give you common elements, which are, see which elements are common. 2 is common, 5 is common, and nothing else is common. Okay, you can also use the intersection function. They both will give you the same result, whatever is common. Next is the set difference. Set difference produces a new set which is consisting of elements that are present only in one of those sets. So it will remove elements from the other set. Okay. So for example, 1, 2, 5, all these elements are there. For that, we have to simply write either A minus B or A dot difference B. Okay. It will give me the same values. It will remove all elements of B which are present in A. Next is frozen set. A frozen set in Python is a set whose values cannot be modified at all. For that, we create it using the function frozen set. A is a set. If you write the function frozen set of A and save it in B, B's values cannot be changed. Okay, if you try to add something to it, you want to discard something from it, it will not happen. Okay.